Hey. I am so super excited that we are having an amazing discussion today. And I know y'all are thinking, this is very impromptu. Like, we didn't have a schedule. Well, first of all, if y'all follow me, y'all know that I follow the news, okay? So when life changes, something happens, we come in here with all the details, all the tea, all of the isms and schisms to go ahead and address it. And this is going to be no different. So I know that you guys have been seeing, I've been going live. I have been in the story. So if y'all follow me on Facebook, Instagram, heck, even on TikTok, y'all, I've been out there TikToking. Okay. I have literally been having this conversation to creators, and I have actually been pushing, because I am a TV host, people to come on my show or get press releases that have businesses and upcoming events that are going on. But then life happened, right? And I was sitting down minding my business. So for you guys that are new, and I know that we're streaming in multiple places, I'm your girl, Raquel May David. And my goal is to help you to be a beast in your business streets, okay? And one of the things that happened this week that was very impactful to me as a Black woman content creator, and I want to preface that, to me, this event that happened really impacted me as a woman, and then everything else kind of came in, right? But to watch and see that Joy Reid's content is no longer going to be, her show is no longer going to be on is it MCNBC? Y'all know, is it CNBC? Y'all know I only care about her, okay? I don't even care about the channel no more. And we're gonna tell y'all why it's important to know the value of your content and what you have going on today in today's discussion. But seeing that, having the bigger conversation, one of the things I did when I saw that Joy Reid's show was being pulled down was I called my network owner, and I called the illustrious Lachelle Adkins, America's Supermom. And I was like, mogul, beast in these streets, I need to have this conversation, because as a creator, I know that if a person is making, using the NFL as a reference point, if a person is making $9 million for a 5-year contract, that means that the owner of that business is making 3 to 4 times that amount of money, if not more, so that they can pay you and they don't feel the weight of that, right? And that's the same thing in this space of broadcasting. A lot of times we are waiting for others to invest into us instead of us actually understanding the power of ownership. And because I am so thirsty in knowing how to get this information and how to get it out to the masses, to understand how important it is for us to leverage our content and own the advertising dollars, understand how to go fish for what we need, right? And stop just being the dancing bear, but understanding that if we can master how to fish, we will never go hungry. So I wanted to have an amazing dialogue with, again, the media mogul, Zondra Evans, and the beast in these producer streets, aka TV host extraordinaire and channel host, Lachelle, America's Supermom Adkins. Okay. And I wanted to bring the conversation to you guys. So on today, if you are a content creator, if you know a content creator, if you know someone who's going to be ready in this year, in this season, to go ahead and put their investment in their vision, they need to tap in and hear this conversation. Because when I say I got the questions and they coming with the answers, okay, y'all, let's go. So coming to the front is our media maven. Is that how we say it? That's how I'm gonna say it. Our media maven, Miss Zondra Evans. And we also have our America's Supermom, Lachelle Adkins. I just want to say, hey, y'all. Thanks for y'all guesses. Okay. I want to say thank you, because I tell y'all, it happened and I'm like 10 o'clock at night. Y'all saw that? They were like, put it together and we'll be there. So I appreciate you guys, like, really seeing that I'm crazy to get people on first of all, on Zondra TV's network, because it does give us the opportunity to be in over 350 million households, right? I looked at the stats ourselves, and just on Roku, so we're on Roku, Apple, come on, Where we at, Zondra? Because they playing with us. Where we at, Zondra?
We are no longer at 350. Let's go with 800 million.
Say.
That is
So
800 million.
800 and what?
800 million.
Okay, so that means, and let's just be clear, I did the numbers because y'all, if y'all don't follow me and don't know, I don't just talk. Like, I go and I get the car facts, so to speak, and I bring it to you guys, right? And I went to Roku alone. If you are streaming on Roku by itself, daily you're looking at 124 million viewers on Roku. So when someone talks to you soft, they want to talk to you. No, come to me nice. Because when I'm out here, I'm Africa, Brazil. They see us, right? They see us. We're here. And I wanted to have a really strong dialogue with you guys about how do we get our creators that are on YouTube, that are on TikTok, to understand that we're not telling them to leave that platform. We're telling them to add to, so that they can actually expand their visibility and not get blocked, because we all know that you get penalized. But last time I checked, if I don't answer Zondra's phone call right away, she doesn't take me off the network, right? Like, if I don't come to the studio, you don't ban my product. Let's keep it honest, right? Like, we don't have like life, and we need to get out there. We don't have to saturate the market, but we can really be out there. So how did you guys feel about hearing what happened to Joy and then being in the positions that you guys are in leadership?
I always got something to say. So let me go on and just jump on in, because I'm the call out. I'm going to call you out. So that's who I am. Here's my thing. And I come from a corporate background. So, you know, I spent 40 long years in corporate America. And at that time, because that was many years ago, I understood the power of an exit strategy then. And so I started developing my exit strategy in good times. And what is good times? When I'm getting paid and making all this money and people paying me, I need an exit strategy, because I will guarantee you this one thing. Either you're going to pull the trigger or they're going to pull the trigger on you. So it's about when is it. It ain't about if it's going to happen. It's when it happens, because it will happen. Either you'll get tired of them and say, I'm done and I'm giving you the deuces, or they're going to say, you know what, thank you for your services and you're done. So you have to actually create that exit strategy, but not only just create it, you need to start implementing it while you're making that money. And so I did that in corporate America. And so when I did get they pulled the trigger and said, we're going to give you the golden handshake, I was already ready and doing my business. And so that's what, one of the key messages I want to say today to anybody that's listening to this. Now let's talk about content, period. At the end of the day, you always need to own your content, because it is absolutely fatal, in my opinion. That when I have given all of my great content and put it out there on a platform, and the day you decide to pull the trigger, I don't have not 1 ounce of ownership to everything I've said. Now, how much sense do that make? Honestly, just tell me how much sense that makes. I ain't just talking about the situation with Joy Reid. I'm talking about everybody. What sense does that make? Own your own destiny, own your own platform, and stop playing in these streets.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the things even that came to mind when you were just talking in the intro, you couldn't even remember the name of the network, but you remember Joy. And I think that's important for us to remember when we're building our brand, that we are bringing something to the table. And a lot of times we get mesmerized over a network or an opportunity, and then we are left with nothing when that situation dissolves. So I think even understanding who you are and what you're bringing to the table is so important. You have to have a strategy, just like what Zondra was mentioning when it comes to exit strategy, even leveraging your growth and your brand extension. We all come together at the table underneath Zondra TV network, but we're also with Roku, Apple TV, Soflix in Africa, and get one TV. I mean, we just keep on growing because it's important to understand that these platforms are there to give you visibility. I think that's what's really important here. You can't depend on it just being a Facebook ad or, being on YouTube. You have to be visible in order to increase your ability to be profitable. And a lot of people get that mixed up. As a content creator, you're creating all this content because you want to be visible. You want to stay top of mind. But how much content is created every day? So you have to learn how to work smarter, not harder. I mean, I could go on, but I think I'll stop there to give you a minute to
ask another question. Because baby, I'm not answer anyone here.
Because I'm ready. Listen, I don't have to ever get ready because I stay ready over here. Okay. So several things that I need y'all to pick up. Number one, look at your 9 to 5 as an investor into your purpose. That is not, and I'm not trying to be funny if we're going back to the biblicals, and no, I'm not fully, listen, the Lord is still working on me. Okay. But I do know the Bible. Okay. And he had 4 streams. Okay. So at minimum, people be talking about 7 streams of incomes, blah, blah. You can have one business, excuse me, and have 7 streams coming out of that one business. You need to have the right coach, the right mentor to help you go through that, right? But listen to what I'm saying, y'all. If you are taking your 9 to 5, because what Zondra said was pivotal. She already had her exit plan together, because a lot of times we wait till the storm is brewing to be like, oh, I need to get out. Okay. I'm Caribbean. We call it vex money, right? We don't wait till we get vexed. We already know that we're going to get vexed. So we're going to put stuff off to the side if things go left, right? But taking the next gem that was dropped by Lachelle that I heard that resonated with me. Y'all, we are all on Facebook. We're all on Instagram. People are running sponsorship ads, and they're putting pixels in it to say, if this demographic picks it up, you keep tracking them, because a person is going to buy from you once they see you a certain amount of time, right? But the real truth is, if I'm running an ad, Zondra's running an ad, Lachelle is running an ad, we're still not going everywhere. Right? We're still not going everywhere. They're still capping us because it's a business. The more money you pay me, the more places I'm going to send you out. But the reality of the situation is, if you join Lachelle's micro network, you're paying your fee, you're getting spread out, and there's no cap. We're not saying, oh no, you're only going to this one particular streaming platform. Zondra's not saying, oh, you're coming to our network and we're only going to put you on Roku, or we're only going to put you on Apple TV, or if you get a commercial package, you're only going on what? No, we're saying we're going to saturate this place because there's 15,000 breads and you happen to be the gluten-free version. We want everybody to see you. Okay. Like, that is very, very impactful. And I want us as people to understand the ownership. But I want to tackle a question. Before I jump into the question, I want to give a shout out to a couple of people in the room that actually gave us a couple of nice things. So Lachelle, thank you so much for saying hi. Before you came in the room, I saw that at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's like she on top of things. Okay, she on top of things. Okay. So Sabrina, Miss Thomas, thank you so much for pulling in. Hello, darling. Larry, darling, thank you for saying we look good. We brushed our teeth. We took a shower today. Thank you. We appreciate you. Okay. Mary, we appreciate you for watching in on our YouTube channels. We appreciate you so much. And Mama Gwen pulled up to the building. Thank you. We appreciate you supporting. She is another one of our TV producers, so I hope she can chime in when we ask these questions. For all the TV producers in the chat that are watching, when we drop questions, if y'all want to chime in, please go ahead and chime in. We don't want this to be a one-sided thing. And if you guys want to come into the Zoom room, the StreamYard link, let us know, because we have that waiting in the back that we can drop for everyone. Okay. Jackie, hello, darling. Thank you for coming in. Okay. We really, really appreciate you guys for coming in, as well as Casper. Casper in the house. Hey. Hey, love. All right. So the question that I wanted to ask both of you guys, and as a person who's done it, I know that I asked this question because I remember being afraid to invest in myself. Right? And that's the truth. The truth of it is, Some people are afraid of failure, and some people are afraid of success, and some people are just fearful.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the biggest thing holding creators back from saying, I'm going to find a studio, I'm going to find a producer, I'm going to find what it is that I need so that my message can get out? What do you think is the biggest fear?
Okay, so for me, I would say, we criticize our own content too much. We don't realize that it is the simplest of things that make us relatable to other people. So we feel like, oh, the lighting's not right. We just criticize. I don't have the right microphone, or, my lower thirds isn't right. What's my color? I mean, we worry about all the things that can easily be changed in a moment's notice, but the authenticity of the message is what's the most important. And so we limit our ability to take it to another level because we're too busy criticizing and in our own head about the stuff that we are producing. So that's
Mm.
what I believe is the biggest fear with that.
Ooh, what you got, Missy? Because I know you've spoken to a lot of us.
Now, you know what? And so, Lachelle, I totally agree with you. However, we'll take that raggedy content and put it out for free. We'll put it out.
Ouch.
I mean, I'm being
It's
real.
true.
Ouch. You right.
If we talking about the lighting ain't right, if we talking about the sound ain't right, if we
Mhm.
talking about all of that, but we'll still put that out for free because we don't want to have to pay a fee. And when you got skin in the game, you're going to put out the best of the best. You're going to invest in the most valuable asset, which is you. It ain't me, it's you. Sow a
Mhm.
seed in your own ground if you want to reap a harvest. So to
Amen.
me, it's about saying, I know it ain't where it needs to be. Okay, but let me pony up and get to where I need to be. But the only way to do that is to surround yourself around the people that are making great content and not just making the content, but distributing this content to over 8.3 million households annually. That's where I want to be. And I want to own my own destiny. Stop letting people control us. What's wrong with us? That we
Mhm.
don't want to own our own destiny. Own your own destiny. But the
So,
only way you own it is you pay for it and you do it and you put it in good context
come
and then
on.
you distribute it so that you're making an impact in the world. Our goal is to make a bigger impact. That's the bottom line. What you gonna do?
Come on, come on. You're getting claps. You're getting claps and amens in the chat. Okay. We getting claps and won't it do it? We get in the chat. No, I love that. And I think and I'm gonna speak from the experience of being a first time, you guys are seasoned in this, but being a first time, one of the biggest things is how do you get started, right? Like when you get started, one of the things that I think that we always fall short on is I don't know, but you're coming into a training program. So again, I can't talk about the other networks that are out there. I can only talk about my experience with Zondra TV. You get the experience of how do you go out there and get sponsorship? How do you go out there and figure out what ads look like, right? And how to understand, because let's be clear, Joy was on that network, because we ain't gonna mention no name because we ain't getting fined over here. Okay, she was on that network over there with grandpa and them, right? And the reality of the situation is the sponsors were brought in, right? They had their sponsors, they had their ad dollars, and when you now are independent, that means you are finding those sponsors, you are finding those ad dollars, you're finding those people who are willing to invest to have the opportunity to have over 100,000 eyes on them, right?
Mhm.
Over 1 million eyes on them, because they understand the value of what that exposure is going to bring, right?
Mhm.
So I definitely think that what you guys said was right, like it hit the nail all over the head.
Mhm.
um, and I wanted to go ahead, and if you all have
Well,
questions
let
in
me
the chat,
just, I wanted to say something else with what you're saying,
okay.
in terms of working smarter and not harder. Now, I'm a mother of 15 children, and we
Hmm.
still have 11 at home. And I have not been one that invests in Facebook ads and Instagram and all this other stuff, because I take my money and I put it in distribution, right? So a lot of people feel like, oh, I can't afford it, but if you're over here doing these Facebook ads and all these other things that are adding up, why not put that into yourself? Because you don't even know who's seeing that content. I've never have been one to invest in the ads, because it's like, am I really getting what I'm paying for? Whereas when I take that money and I distribute, right, intentionally, with people that I can build relationships with, not just me as a producer, but there's other producers that, we work as a community. Matter of fact, we have a networking group this evening,
Yeah.
where we are getting to know each other and we are helping to lift each other up. For me, that's money well spent. And that's me working smarter, not harder, rather than doing an ad. I'm not even sure if they saw the ad. Was the person who the ad went to, was their internet even working? Or their Facebook page, is it suspended? I mean, all these different variables that we can't control. Why not put your money where you can control it?
And not only that, I'm not trying to be funny. I've paid for leads before. Again, I know that we're on different platforms right now, but when I was in the credit repair space, I remember paying over like $3,000 for my ads to go out, right?
Mhm.
And I got a bunch of people who needed to fix their credit, but they didn't want to fix their credit. Like they want like let's keep it funky. Like they're coming in, but they don't want to spend up. Well, how much it costs? Like what happened? Like I don't know. Like is you gonna buy or not? Like like you cost me $2.58. You better go ahead and sign up.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I got it. Goose egg. It's a goose egg, y'all. But here's the thing. You really don't understand. We have been under such a myth that we don't even get it. We're like totally confused. Well, why, Zondra? Because we believe that if we run an ad, if I get a commercial, that my phone gonna start ringing off the hook. Who told you that lie?
Right.
That's not the truth. What's gonna happen is if I do it enough,
They'll know
enough exposure equals conversion. But it's not one and done. I'm gonna do this one thing and my phone gonna be ringing. I'm gonna be so busy. I'm gonna have to hire 10 people. That is a lie straight from
the pits.
Mhm.
But even to that fact, I have someone who came on my TV show, and let's just talk about the show.
Mhm.
Just from her coming on the show, her website visit rate went up 75%.
Mhm.
What?
Right? 75% just from being on the show. And then she tracked it because y'all know, if first of all, if y'all come on my show, I'm gonna give y'all all the tea and all the juice. Okay. So I'm like, okay, well, track it. Where are they coming from? So she was like, I had Switzerland, I had Korea, because why? I had the people on our show, they blasted their information out. And unfortunately, I'm a military brat. So y'all know I got everywhere. Okay. So my friends in Korea was watching. My brother's platoon that was somewhere else was watching, right? Like it was a back to back push out, not just people going on the app or going on the Apple TV, but actually going to watch.zondratv.com to see our show, that then propelled them to go to her site, and then having the clear understanding of how to strategically get those people to opt in, to get those people to buy, right? To your point, because she didn't know what the visibility was going to do to her. And now that she has the visibility, now she has these people emails. Now, how do I sell to them? Right now, I have to get more information into them. So understanding that the commercial doesn't make them buy. The commercial makes them aware that you are out here to buy from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm available. Hello, I
got you don't
it.
Tell nobody knows.
Exactly.
You'll be the best kept secret in your building.
Well, and I tell people, who would start a business, a brick and mortar, and not have a sign out front? I mean, that's what happens when we don't have visibility, right? We're expecting, we're like, hey, we're the best thing since sliced bread, and nobody knows, right? You on a corner, prime location, but you're not being visible. And I think people think that you can just have a business one sale is not going to support your longevity,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to keep a revolving door going. And so that is visibility, it's marketing, and it's different kinds of visibility. Maybe it's a press release, maybe it's a commercial, maybe it's a podcast where you're collaborating with somebody, maybe it's being a guest on somebody's show, maybe it's a magazine article. I mean, the list goes on, but it's not a one and done. Just like we have so many social media platforms, it's the same thing with the media. You might do a forward on somebody's book. I mean, you could do a review, Google reviews. That's another thing that is very profitable. So, I mean, the list goes on and on. We have to reframe our thinking about visibility. I'm a content creator. That's what I consider myself, as a TV producer. So I put my content on Google, right? Google reviews. I'm taking pictures, adding videos, whatever I can, and my hashtag so that I can continue to stay visible.
I love it. Yeah, I hope y'all pick that up for all those people watching. Okay, don't listen. I am not one to be here and y'all don't put these things into action. Okay, when you come around and be like, Raquel, what should I do? Did you do what Lachelle just said? Did you do it? Oh, you did? Okay, have a good day. All right, that's what you're gonna do. Sit down. All right, Mary said in the chat, y'all know that the young senior citizen and old baby boomers love learning from young folks. what is holding back is getting rid of old baggage. I definitely think that one of the things that we need to remember is we are not where we used to be. Like,
Amen.
your past is just that. It is your past. And you are
Mhm.
not at that address. You done reframed. You've done everything that you needed to do to be successful. Be present in where you are now. And if someone comes knocking at that address, girl, don't answer. You don't live there no more.
That is
Simple.
so true. And I think even the same thing when it comes to taking action. I
Mhm.
just did a post on LinkedIn and Instagram today with Tina Knowles. So she was on that little, how Jennifer Hudson has
Mhm.
everybody before they come on the show.
Mhm.
And I met Tina Knowles. So I put a picture up
I
with
saw
me
the
and
picture.
some
You
of
look
my
young
kids,
and
right?
supple.
But my point with that is, that happened how many years ago when she was getting her clothing line? She came to my husband's store. He was a store manager at the time, to do her lunch there. But my point is, I can't make it off of what I did with her years ago. I have to stay relevant today. What am I going to do? Just go back. Yeah, I met her. You have to continue to stay moving, right?
Mhm.
Even with her, she's like, I had that clothing line. Now I'm doing something else. We can't be stuck in the past,
Mhm.
even if it's something that you felt like you achieved that was great. You got to keep moving.
Yeah.
I
For sure.
love that. All right, so we're gonna ask two because I have to manage time, y'all. Okay, and I talk too much, so okay, let's go. Lachelle,
Mm-hmm.
um, question for you: for a creator who's looking to take their content beyond social media, right? What
Mm-hmm.
is the first step that they should take to prepare to get on a streaming platforms like Zondra TV that's going to take them to Apple, Hulu, all of those wonderful places? What
Well,
should they prepare?
my journey was, I had a podcast at the time, and I met Zondra because we both were on a summit. And I asked her to be a guest on my podcast, right? And so, as a result of me getting out of my comfort zone and simply reaching out to her, that's how I ended up on the network. Now, that was years ago in the very beginning, first class of 12 producers doing the academy, right? Well, now I think we're on season 8. But my point is, people have to just get started. Do something to get out of your comfort zone. Reach out to people in the DMs. I just got off an interview this morning from somebody who just reached out to me on LinkedIn. She has over 1,000 subscribers. She used to work with Les Brown, and she reached out to me in the DMs to ask me to be a guest on her show. So I think a lot of times, again, we're in our own head and we don't recognize that if you have a platform, if you're a creator, that is something that you can control the narrative of. So that is something of high value. We just get to this point of thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just a podcaster. Now you can have a podcast on YouTube and it's streaming. You can have it on some of these free platforms because it's about having a space that opens you up to be able to have access to other people that you might not have had access to. And once it's out there, your audience can grow because it's people that you never even thought that you would even come in contact with. So the first thing I would say is, write your plan. Write your plan on where you want to go and just get started.
I love it. She said, pull the trigger. That's what she said. Push the button. Push the button. So Miss Evans, this one's for you. The question that came in was, as the owner of Zondra TV, what are the key factors that you look for when selecting a content creator to come on the network?
Well, that's an interesting question because I don't go seeking content creators. I don't. They come seeking me because they get tired of the same outcome. Now, do I promote Zondra TV Network? Yes, but I don't go looking for content creators. But here's what I have to say to every content creator, every podcast host that is listening to this feed. Let me be clear. I feel like I'm the woman version of Gary Vee without the profanity. And the reason being is because I believe there is power in repurposing what you already have. Now, you've already created a podcast. It's audio and video, most of us, because we do it on Zoom or StreamYard. Why are you not taking that content and taking the audio and video and putting it on TV, Roku, Amazon, Apple, and at the same time, keeping your podcast, which is an audio cast, by the way, of your audio feed, and being able to offer that to your client base and look like a real big player in the industry? People want to stay mainstream instead of thinking about how do I craft out a journey for me and my business through something that nobody else is doing. People every day ain't being on TV. If you want to really raise your visibility and change your trajectory as a business owner, you should be thinking about that.
Ooh, she said, I don't come find you. You find me. That's what she said. Her name's
I
Mia.
I ain't searching.
It's
No,
true.
you decide that you tired. When you tired, come see me.
Well, and I think in addition to that too, is you don't have to do it alone. I have learned just on my journey that, yeah, I have those moments where it's like it can be overwhelming. I'm managing kids and a husband, okay? And it's that alone outside of business. But what I'm saying is when you come to a network, you have that support. You have people that you can call. You have people you can collaborate, such as what we're doing right now. We have hard things that we are facing. If you are just looking at the news, which I don't, I hear it all through my network, but there's a lot of crazy things going on, and you need a team with that because it can knock the wind out of you. And so really having a community is important because life is happening in the background. Yes, you may be filming for a few moments or half an hour or an hour, but life is still happening. So having a community and a team is so important.
Oh, I love that. And y'all, I love how Mom Lachelle said, I don't watch the news. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you, I was on the phone, I was on the phone with them, and I was just like, Funky Dineva. Okay, so I know everybody may not know, but there is a very big YouTube personality by the name of Funky Dineva who had connections with another network, and his goal was to get into the studio. Like his goal was to, I want to get on syndicated television. I want to get on television. And last night, I was like, we got to do this. We got to do this talk because he literally took everything that I was saying and everything that Zondra was saying and everything that Lachelle was saying and was like, I had the big network come to me and say, I'm going to pay you $1.5 million for you to get your vision together. Right. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, when he looked at the bottom line number of what he was taking home, it was the same number that they had offered to him before that he had walked away from. Mm. Right. And then looking at it from a deeper standpoint, once you give this content to them or you give your idea to them, they can take your idea and run with it, because now they have the capital to do what it is that you want, instead of being an Issa Rae, right? Who said, I'm going to develop this, I'm going to make this, and then when I get enough, I'm going to do it even better, right? And that's what happened when she came out with Insecure. You were able to see her get another level and go deeper in what she wanted to execute. And I think that hearing so many people and watching so many creators say, I'm going to take my money because I've been betting on me and I've been successful. And now I'm going to I'm going to up the house and I'm going to put it on me even more. And I'm going to create the space. And now we just got to do is find a place for it to be broadcasted and distributed. So why are you not looking at our network? So I know it's not shameless plug. You might want to come over here.
It might be a shameless plug, but let me. I gotta say something on top of that, because see what we are confused about. Streaming TV changed the game.
Yes.
So you think that you're going to win this game with just your network and your little Roku, Amazon, and Apple? You are sadly mistaken. This game is about how many tentacles do you have reaching out across the world. So, Lachelle, you always talk about you can't do it by yourself. I promise you, you better get on some tentacles, and everybody is speaking your language for you. And that's really how you win at this game. So yeah, I honor people to say, okay, I'm gonna go create my own network. Good luck. Because if you're the only one on it and it's just your one Roku, one Amazon, and one Apple, you'll never reach 800 million homes.
Yeah. Well, and I think another thing with that too is I realize that I'm not for everybody, right? There are people that are connected to me that they can say what I'm saying and they'll be heard, and I can say what they're saying and they not hear me. Right.
Come on.
And I think that's important when you're thinking about collaboration, because, I'm in one household. My husband can say something to my kids and they just take action. I say the same thing and it's like crickets. So I think we have to realize that, we're not always everybody's cup of tea, which is why it pays to have a plethora of content across the board in different genres and different things that we are working to talk and relate to people on. And I think that's one of the things that you miss when you're trying to do it by yourself. You just can't think of everything or even have the energy to do it all. It just doesn't make sense. So again, learn how to work smarter. I mean, anybody who is out there creating content, they know what it takes to create content. You're sometimes the editor, you're the director, you're the one that's, screenwriting. I mean, you're doing it all and it is exhausting. So you need to get with people that can support you on a lot of those things that you're doing in order for you to maintain and even soar higher than where you're at right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. Okay, so next question is, I know that we were talking about taking the power seat and controlling your content visibility. Zondra, what is step one that you would give a creator, someone that is already an executive producer somewhere, but has an idea that they want to bring to fruition? What is the starting point that you would give them to say, this is where you would hit?
I always talk about beginning with the end in mind. What is the end in mind for what you're doing? I also think you have to write it and make it plain. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And then listen, some people have such big ideas, nothing wrong with it. I think you should have big, big, big ideas. And I think you should dream elaborately. So I think that that's a beautiful thing. But understand that sometimes those dreams require investors. So you have to also think about, what am I trying to do? So one of the things that I've been telling people, you got to start somewhere. You got to crawl sometimes before you could take off walking and running. So crawling first is saying, how do I, again, beginning with the end in mind, how do I socialize conceptually what I want that end to be? And sometimes socializing that is getting, at least putting enough skin in the game that you can afford to get on TV and socialize who you are and what you do. So we on here talking about a certain, person that got canceled. My
Right.
point is socialize who you are and what you stand for and how you want to be, so that when the trigger happens, all I do is sunrise that thing that I've been really,
Already.
written down and said, made it plain. This is what I'm trying to do. But you got to start somewhere. You have to do something to enter into this digital society on streaming TV. It's the first time in history that you, as a content creator, can take your content, own it, and distribute it where you want to distribute it.
Mm.
So,
Oh, I love that. Okay. And then this is gonna be the last question, then I get everyone's final thoughts. Um, okay. Oh, Lachelle, this one goes to you. Okay. In the wake of the media shifts, like Joy Reid recently being fired, how can Black and independent creators ensure that their own audience remains secure? Like they still remain secure, they still keep their audience while they're still building during the transition?
Okay, so that's a good question because do they really have an audience? That's the first thing. We have a lot of people that are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you have people watching, but you don't even have a gauge of who it is that's watching. You don't have any way to keep in contact with them. You don't have an email list. If that account is shut off, you don't even have your content. So these are some things that we really need to understand from the very beginning when we get started. There's this saying that if something's free, then you're the commodity.
Mm.
So they are getting information from you. You're giving them your email. You are bringing people to that platform and they're not paying you a dime for it. So I think we need to first understand what is it that we actually have control over. And when you start really looking deeper, we don't have control over these things.
yes.
So it would be first establishing some way that you are capturing that content. I'm an author and I have my books on Amazon. Do you think Amazon's giving me a list of all the people that bought my book? I have no idea. They just pay me a random royalty check. I don't even know if it's right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we have
That's
got
$2. That's
to
me. Okay.
we have got to understand
Yes.
truly that we don't own this stuff. We are just on these platforms, and yes, they are helping to buffer and increase our revenue, but at the same time, it's nothing that we can depend on. We don't have any say on these things. So I think the first thing is recognizing that we don't own this, right? So we have to find a way to capture that audience in a way that we can serve them. Hey, you know
Yes.
what? I'm not going on YouTube today. I want you to join me in my Zoom room. Or I'm going to be in Atlanta March 13th through the 15th at a woman restoration
Are
conference.
you
So
coming?
I need you
Right.
to come and join us. You see what I'm saying? We can't,
That part.
we got to really understand. So I would say first thing is getting the terminology correct and understanding what you do have control over and what you don't. The second thing is really building up your confidence. When you have a platform like TV, radio, and media, you are controlling the narrative. So, what are you saying? Do you have your message together? Right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a message that resonates with people, they will be attracted to you and they'll follow you wherever you go. So, I think we need to work on our messaging. We have to work on the fact that if we want to own an audience, we have to figure out a way how to capture that information in order to grow that audience that we can take with us and say, you know what, I'm done with YouTube. They told me I had 500 subscribers. I have 100 that are watching me right now. I'm going over here to Zondra TV Network and Roku and Amazon Fire, and I'm going to start building from there. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be sponsoring myself, and my sponsors, they're going to get something out of what I'm giving them as well.
Did y'all hear that? She said you are the commodity. Like, forget it. Like, I listened. I didn't listen to reply. Listen, I was hearing, but I was stuck at the you ain't never lied. Cause you know how many people lose their whole social media, it goes down, and then they have to tell people, hey guys, this is my new page, or this is my backup page, because at any time the powers that be can pull your stuff and say no one's going to be able to see you no more.
Can I please say this? I can't help myself. I'm probably out of order, and I usually am.
No, come on, I'm ready.
I am. But here's the thing. I want to kind of summarize this thing up, because I think we missing the whole enchilada a little bit, because I want to talk about owning your own content, never losing your content, and taking your own content and driving revenue into your pocket instead of giving the money away.
And getting a percentage. I'm
gonna call it out. People get on the Tubies and the Plutos and the Bootaboos. You can get on all of them that you want to get on. They don't give you a time that you're going to show on TV. So you got people trying to search for you.
Yeah.
That's silly. It's your content. You created it. And now people got to search for it. No, you need to be somewhere where the content's created. I'm on a network that I get a time slot that says I come on at 9 p.m. on Saturday evenings, so you can
drive on Wednesdays, by the way,
into your funnel and make money. Stop playing. We keep giving we're giving our content away. And what I'm telling you is, we want to get on these networks. Those networks are taking all your money. If you get to see a commission check, it's far and few between. I'm telling you, create your content, create your own commercials, sell your commercials slots in your own content, and walk away with your own money. And in that way, you are actually building generational wealth.
Come on. By the way, I'm on Wednesdays. What days are you on, Mom?
I'm on Mondays.
Okay. I replay sometimes on Fridays, but don't worry about it. You can watch the whole season on demand every day. But I am on live Wednesdays. Okay, I just want to let you know.
But that's the point. Why shouldn't you have a live showing that you could tell people, hey, come check me out. I'm live on TV every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Right. That's the real players in the game. So all of y'all that's stuck out here on social land and don't want to put no skin in the game to be able to really change your trajectory.
Not only that, the people who are getting paid, I'm not trying to be, what really blew my mind was when the man said, and I promise you, I was, because my husband be having the sports center on, okay, because I don't do sports, okay, my kids play football. I just learned what a sack was.
I still don't know.
My son's senior year, my son's been playing football since he was 5, okay? He was like, oh, I broke his legs and I got a sack. I was like, where he getting the sack from? But that's irrelevant. Just follow me on what happened, okay? So my husband puts on Sports Center every morning, okay? And this morning, again, the Joy Reid thing happened, and then the next morning, it was like a commercial or somebody was talking, and the guy said, y'all act like $9 million is a lot of money. And I was like, it is a lot. Like, what's he talking about? Like, it's a lot of money. He said, no. If you're getting $9 million, how much is the owner getting? You have to understand that if it's your content, okay, if you decide that you're going to get a show and this network is going to pay you for your show and you're making 6 figures, you're making 8 figures, how much is the network making? But the reality is, do you want to put yourself out there to find those commercials? Are you willing to hear the no's until you get to the yes? The reality of the situation is, I like no's. Okay, hurry up and tell me no so I can get to the person who's going to tell me that yes. Go ahead and give it to me, because when I get that yes, what the rewards are going to be, one person came on my show, got 75% increase in viewership on her site.
Amen.
Okay, she now has an uptick on sales from what she made one investment to come on the show. She did get fed well, though. She had a good time. Okay.
Well, and you bring it up a good point. I think a lot of people, they go out and be on shows and do all this stuff, but they don't know how to leverage what they have done. You're over here still strung out trying to be everywhere instead of learning how to direct people
Traffic to
to
me.
that content,
Mhm.
So it's so many things. We
And
could
that
go
is a
on for
lesson
another
that I
hour.
had to learn, is like, okay, I have this content. I'm not gonna put myself out there like everybody can get me. Like, no, here's where I'm at. You want me, come here. So I
Right.
understand when Zondra said, no, I ain't going out there. Y'all can find me because I am value. I am the commodity. I am the equity that you're looking for. So that is amazing. So, ladies, I want to say thank you so much for joining the talk, having this open dialogue with me as a creator myself who is looking to give more than I can take in so many spaces and wanting to bring the understanding of we are worth so much more than what they're willing to pay us. But you have to be willing to put skin in the game. And I'm going to say the short story before I ask for the final words. I did something a couple years ago with some people and they did not have skin in the game. And what ended up happening was I lost out on over $7,000, right? They walked away with nothing. When I say nothing, they walked away with money in their pockets. But when I did the math, that event would have made us over $2.5 million if they would have worked the plan. You cannot partner with someone who's not willing to put skin in the game. You cannot partner with someone who's not willing to say, if you putting down two, I'm putting down two. Okay, this is what we're going to do to make it happen, to make sure that you're successful. So when you are looking into a partnership, you're looking to build, make sure even when you're, and I'm talking to the creators that are coming out here, make sure you're selecting people who are going to help propel your vision. Because the worst thing to do is bring someone onto the platform and give them the opportunity, and they're not even going to let people know, here's where I can be seen, here's where I can be heard, because now that's a wasted investment. Now it's good for content, okay, so you'll have content all day, but just be careful that you're not building on sand, right? So that would be the only thing that I would say. And that comes if you're doing an event together, or if you're looking for people to come on your podcast, make sure these people that are coming on your podcast are bringing something of value and not just air fillers, because promise you, you're not going to get the visibility that you're looking for with just nonsense on your platform. Okay, just transparency. So last words, Mom Lachelle, and then Miss Zondra, what would be your takeaway from today's topic tonight? Y'all I need a nap.
It's all right. It's all right. One thing that I would say is follow the trends, because it's a great opportunity for you to stay valuable in your narrative around these things. We can look at this whole situation with Joy being let go or canceled, however you want to say it, but what lessons are we going to
Replaced.
learn? Right? What
Mhm.
lessons are we going to learn that we can start applying so that that story doesn't end up being ours, right? That's one of the things that I'm passionate about in terms of sharing my journey with depression, right? I have 13 years that I can't get back, but I definitely can share my knowledge to prevent other people from having that same thing happen to them. And when you're on that journey, there's multiple streams of income from, you could share your story in a book, you can share it in a course, so many different ways that you could think about monetizing that. The next thing is connect with the right people, right? Be around people that challenge you to keep moving forward in spite of the obstacles. We're always going to have obstacles. And if you're wondering about a circle, you need some new people, join us. We're going to be doing a retreat, a conference, March 13th through the 15th here in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll put the links out here later on. And then the 29th, if you're like, I'm a content creator, I don't know how to leverage or brand myself, we're having a branding session the end of March 29th. And then the last thing is share this video. If you got some value, share the video. Okay, talk about the video, tag us in the video, post the video. That's all I got.
Look at that. I love it. I love. Okay, I guess I got a couple of seconds, but at the end of the day, look, ditto to everything Lachelle said. You've been in training from the day one. So ditto to everything you just said. I ain't got to repeat that. Let me give you something new. to think about it and to talk through. At the end of the day, stop talking about it and be about it.
Amen.
And understand that it is no longer okay to be, to have an event. You need to be creating a movement. And so if I think about, all about we not going to shop here, we not going to do, but those are events. Become a movement and understand that you continue down this path of giving away your content, which is really your intellectual property and knowledge. You just going to give it away? No, what you do for free, you could do for a fee. So you need to think about your strategy on how you're going to build. Take what you have and repurpose it, y'all. Stop playing. Stop playing. Just because an audio cast is free, don't mean it's the best thing in order to elevate your brand. Amen. Think about taking that same thing and putting that on TV. Now, I talk about TV because I'm on TV, but even if I wasn't, I'd be trying to figure out how to get on TV. Because for the first time in Century, I could actually be on TV. I'm going to figure out how I can do that and make a difference in my trajectory. We just heard 75% more traffic to your website, and she was just interviewed on a show.
My interview is great, by the way.
She was interviewed on the show. I'm excited. Look here, we need
and that was before the press release. Let's also be clear, before the press release, just the interview. And my show went live January 4th. So we're talking about not even, it's been a little over 30 days. It's going on to the 60-day mark, and you have a 75% uptick, and you telling me that you're not willing to invest to go ahead and get that amount of traffic to your eyes on your business?
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
So let's stop playing. At the end of the day, this is all I got to say. Stop playing and show up and serve the world, the authentic you, but have a strategy and a plan. Look at who you gonna extend your brand to. See, because I don't partnership, collaboration, extension of your brand. You got to figure out who that is and where that is. And at the end of the day, Zondra TV Network is the place. If you want to be seen globally on TV, and this is a shameless plug, come on the Zondra TV Network. We have an informational every single month called Monetize Your Brand, because we believe you can monetize this, not just this, background, look, feel, everything you're doing, coaching, counseling. You can brand yourself and set yourself apart from mainstream. So you're not doing just what everybody else doing, you one up. So come see us, Monetize Your Brand, on March 13th.
And I will be dropping the link on the YouTube channel in the comments. Thank you guys, ladies. I'm going to send y'all backstage. I'll be right with you guys. I want to say thank you guys so much for all of those that tuned in and watched. If you are looking to book an interview, you definitely want to go ahead and check out my website, breakingbarrierstories.com. You can also see Lachelle Adkins at LachelleAdkins.com. Is that right, Lachelle? I think so. Yeah, okay. LachelleAdkins.com. And of course, you can watch on watch.zondratv.com. I will make sure that the YouTube has all the links in the description. It'll be updated in a few. But Natisha said Raquel's a great interviewer, because she is. Okay. So if you guys are ready to get your brand out there, if you are looking for a place to tell your story, I have an audience. If you have a product, come on and tag me, get into my DMs, and I am so thankful that you guys watch. So be dangerous on purpose, be intentional on purpose, and do not let it fall to the wayside. Understand that you are commodity, you are hot like fire, and they are looking for you in these streets. So until our next YouTube live, thanks for being great on purpose. Bye, y'all. Let me go ahead and get this to you. Bye.